And thank you. Let's see. I didn't go back and see. Are you in England or the United Kingdom? That's what I want. Well, how does someone from the Southeast say? I live in England, or I live in the UK, or is it both? Who knows? Let's see. I'm out of time here, aren't you? But let's go to William down in Aliso Viejo. Since you're in New Mexico, have you been to Area 51 and seen any UFOs around? What's your view of UFOs? I actually went to second grade and third grade in Roswell, New Mexico. Roswell, of course, is the UFO capital of the world, perhaps we could say, or the famous visit from the aliens in the 1940s was at Roswell or nearby Roswell. Do you know that this would have been early 70s? Now, granted, I was in the second or third grade. But as I recall, and as my parents have recalled on some accounts, alien invasion was not much talk in Roswell in the early 1970s. Today you go to Roswell and you see aliens everywhere. They're on street signs and street posts. And I mean, it's a big, can I say it's a marketing scheme that somebody in Roswell sort of figured out UFOs are kind of, we kind of like UFOs, whatnot. And so somewhere, probably, I'm guessing maybe in the 80s, Roswell began to market itself for aliens. Honestly, with apologies to those in Roswell, there's no other reason you would want to go there other than maybe see a few cool alien exhibits that are totally fabricated in plastic. Because it's just not really a pretty place. Now, the reason that people live in Roswell is because you get oil out of the ground, and there's some farming there. There's some decent farming around, but it's an oil and gas area. I shouldn't speak badly about them because they pay the bills for the rest of the state. Roswell and Hobbs and all that southeast corner, they pay the bills because that's where all the oil comes out. The two corners, the opposite corner also has a good bit of oil in it. But I think the whole UFO thing in Roswell and New Mexico is a marketing scheme that became a fascination. And who knows, what happened in the 1940s or something. I'm sure that my opinion of it is absolutely nothing happened in the 1940s. Area 51 is actually in Nevada, by the way. But so much UFO stuff. Now, I am in a little social media group on I think Tau Sky Watchers or something like that. And I'm in it because I like constellations and I have this beautiful night sky out there. And I like, people tell me, hey, there's a meteor shower tonight and that kind of stuff. And it's pretty cool. But I can tell you over and over and over and over and over and over again, it is, hey, I saw a bright light. I think they're after us. I think they're here. They finally arrived. I'm sure I saw one. Did anyone else see one? And there is this love affair with UFOs. Almost anywhere I would say you go in the American West, maybe this is true everywhere, but especially when you go in wide open areas. There's a place north of us in Colorado that is just flying objects don't have to be space objects. I think there's a lot of maybe military through the American West. There's so much military activity that takes place in the skies. So they test things up there. And so sometimes people actually do see those things. And they don't know what it is because it's just not announced what it is. It's a human that's up there. Or you get meteorites that fall to Earth from time to time, things like this. Very natural occurrences. And when you're in a wide open space, you typically aren't with a lot of people. So you're with, 1, 2, 3 other people. It's dark. It's kind of cool out there. It's, if you're from the city, it's like, ooh, wow, this is spooky. Oh, did you see that? They're coming, Betsy, they're coming. So your mind plays weird tricks with you when you're in an unusual kind of situation. I, by the way, don't hear near as many UFO sightings from people who've lived here all their life or for generation after generation. It typically comes from hippies that moved in from Southern California. Sorry, William. They are the ones that see them. Okay, maybe, again, much of UFO has a legitimate physical answer to it. It's just unidentified. And it was flying, and it was an object. There's another portion. I'm going to make it 3 portions. So there's that portion of we just don't know what it was. It was something physical, and it's totally got an explanation. Another portion is drugs. They're smoking something, they're high, they're on mushrooms, they shot themselves up with something, they have a vivid imagination at the time, and maybe there's a shooting star, or maybe they take a picture and there was a little reflection on the lens of a piece of fuzz there, and it caught the light, and a vivid imagination along with their impaired thinking is a decent chunk of it. Now, then the final little piece, and I think this is very small, if any, and that is demonic. I am not a big believer in demonic activity in the age of grace. I hold to an age of, shall we say, the silence of God. And I think that he holds Satan and Satan's minions on that same kind of leash, even though Satan is prowling about like a lion seeking who he may devour. I don't have a perfect argument here, but I don't think we see the kind of let's say demon possession and demonic manifestations that were definitely in the scriptures. I'm not saying they're totally prohibited today, but I think it's even by the Christian community and even the fundamentalist community, it is overblown. So a little bit of that. Now, in the future, after this age of grace is over, Katie by the door probably will get all of that that begins to take place. Okay, that was